Shri Sanjeev Jaiswal, Vice President and CEO of Mahada, driving a large-scale housing delivery and redevelopment. Leadership posts like Municipal Commissioner of Thane and Nagpur, Additional Municipal Commissioner of BMC, where you played a critical role in leading city's COVID containment strategy, including the widely recognized Dharavi response. At Mahada, you have been spearheading several transformative initiatives, from digitization of 15 crore housing records to launching MMR Growth Hub to enable the development of nearly 8 lakh homes by 2030. You also have been driving large-scale cluster development projects, including the landmark redevelopment of BDD Chawls in Worli, Naigaon, and Kamatipura, which could redefine housing and urban renewal in Mumbai. My question to you, sir, as Mumbai continues to grow and densify, how can housing policy and redevelopment models ensure that growth remains inclusive, sustainable, and truly people-centric for the city residents?
Thank you, Devin. And at the outset, I would like to welcome our Honorable Minister of State, Shri Pankaj Bhoer, who is here for the session. Our Honorable Minister, Shri Eknath Shinde ji, will be joining soon. So that was a part of the formality that I had to extend before I say something.
Sure.
Coming back to the question that you raised, you see, the new housing policy of Maharashtra 2025 has made a very paradigm shift as far as the approach to housing is concerned. The erstwhile policy was almost 20 years old, and after a lot of deliberations with the various stakeholders, the state government tried to broaden the ambit by focusing primarily on 5 segments. So the first segment was affordable housing, which typically MHADA has been doing over the years, and even agencies like SRA, though they are primarily into slum rehabilitation, or even SITCO, MMRDA, they are the main housing stock creators apart from the local bodies. So as I said, affordable housing was one of the first component which has been focused in this. The second important element which has been missing over the years, and I'm sorry to say this, that for some reason, maybe I don't know why, it was never thought upon, and that is regarding the rental housing. If you ask me honestly, today the need of Mumbai, apart from affordable and high segment, or what we say the premium housing area, the primary need is of rental housing, because people who come here are primarily coming for 2 years, 3 years for a job, or even for a shorter stint. So that has been one of the focus area of the new housing policy, for which MHADA has been made the nodal agency. Thirdly, segments like working women hostel, or old age home, or students hostel, and lastly, industrial workers housing. So these are the 5 or 6 main elements which have been incorporated primarily to ensure the inclusivity, the sustainability, affordability, and most important, the improvement in the quality of life, which we corroborate with the happiness index.
Right.
As a part of people who are going into redevelopment, and obviously in all this, MHADA has a very major role to play.
Sir, you spoke about the housing for rental housing. You spoke about creating housing for industrial workers and working women hostel, or those kind of things. Mumbai is undergoing a transformation right now in terms of redevelopment. We were having a discussion, close to 150,000 societies need to be redeveloped. So there's a lot of stress in terms of whether the society should reach out to a developer or to MHADA. So how are you managing this partnership with the developers in creating affordable housing in a city like Mumbai?
So let me start with one of the biggest challenges as when it comes to housing, and especially when we say about redevelopment or ensuring low-cost housing to the people who can't afford higher segments. So the first thing in Mumbai is that Mumbai being landlocked, land availability is the biggest challenge. The second challenge is the high affordability index, which we have in Mumbai, which is almost near 50.
Right.
So that means that anyone who takes a housing loan, they have to pay almost 50% of the income as EMI, which is obviously not advisable and not doable either. The third is that if at all we are talking about Mumbai especially and even the MMR, then redevelopment is the most priority area for the simple reason that if land were to be made available, it could only come through the, say, the 114 layouts that MADA has in the suburbs and the CES buildings which we have in the city. Now, in light of this, there has been two major change in the whole approach, and I would like to acknowledge the role of our Honorable Chief Minister, Shri ji, publicly, that he has envisaged three elements. A is that if at all we were to increase the expanse of Mumbai, I use the word increase the expanse of Mumbai, then connectivity is a very important factor. So if you see in the last few years, whether it is the coastal road, whether it is Atal Setu, whether it is the Samruddhi Mahamarg, which is from Nagpur to Mumbai, or you see the almost the 300 kilometers of the metro network that is being laid across Mumbai and the MMR region. Or if you see the new airport which has come at Navi Mumbai, the Vadhavan port which is planned, which is going to be one of the biggest port in the country, comparable to the almost the biggest element ports across the world. And not only that, the coastal road is also now being extended beyond Bandra. It will go till Goregaon, and then further on it will go to Vasai, and then later on it is planned to go till Vadhavan. Now why I am saying all this is that if you see the travel time has come down. Right. So today the desire of having a house in Mumbai proper, either the city or the suburbs, which maybe would not be giving that infrastructure which is needed in terms of amenities, is very much possible if one moves out of Mumbai and goes towards Panvel or goes towards Navi Mumbai or goes towards Thane or anywhere else. So this is one important change. Second is that till now, if we talk about redevelopment, the focus was primarily on individual redevelopment. When I say individual redevelopment, it means one building, two buildings coming together and going in for redevelopment. Definitely, the people residing here were getting better houses. But in terms of the infrastructure of the project, it was not advisable. So I'm sorry if I use this word, but then it was more of a creation of a vertical slum, provided I'm not quoted, though I'll be quoted tomorrow. So what Sir has done, and even our Honorable Minister, both our Deputy CM and our Minister of State, the new focus is on cluster redevelopment. So when I say cluster, it means taking the whole layout, barring those part of the layout which already has been developed or where the development plans have been approved. So if I just give you one figure, that in the last 1 year, in Mumbai alone, either approved by the cabinet or the developer has been appointed through CND, which is a construction and development model, or in tender process, what will be the reasons? More than 800 to 1,000 acres of land in Mumbai proper is opening up for redevelopment on a cluster model. And trust me when I say this, like every layout is expanding almost to 40 acres, 60, 100, 140. To give you some example, Motilal Nagar is 140 acres. GTB Nagar, which is in Sion, which was literally people had given up the hopes, the war refugees, that is going into redevelopment. Kamatipura, we're going to change the name of it, but assembly is going on, so I don't want to say anything beyond that. Kamatipura, which was always, it was a question that could it be redeveloped. I'm really happy to say that Minister of State Pankaj Bhoy Sahab and even our Chief Minister have taken so much effort. So now Kamatipura has been tendered, Abhyuday Nagar has been awarded, Bandra reclamation, Adarsh Nagar is in the pipeline, SVP Nagar is in the pipeline, Aram Nagar has been awarded, and we are now also trying to work on certain clusters which maybe is not economically very viable, like Charkop, Gorai and so on. In short, communication in terms of connectivity, to shift in the focus from individual redevelopment to cluster redevelopment, and thirdly, which I don't want to miss out, is as regards the CES buildings, which is in the city proper, the government has come up with a very revolutionary amendment in the form of 79A and 91A. I don't want to delve more into that. Unfortunately, in one of the matter, the Honorable High Court has made some observation regarding the competent authority, which we have challenged in the Supreme Court. But it is a game changer because for the first time, the monopoly of the landowner, I repeat, the monopoly of the landowner or the developer appointed by them, I wouldn't say the effort has been made to end it, but for the first time, the opportunity to go in for redevelopment, if the landowner doesn't come forth with the 51% consent, has gone to the tenants or the people residing in that building. So this is I would say something which is going to be a game changer. And trust me when I say this, that with the target of 3 million houses as a part of the growth hub, out of which 2.2 million is going to be through slum redevelopment, 0.8 million houses is what MADA has committed to, have it in the stock in the coming 5 to 6 years, either directly or indirectly. And, obviously there are other panelists, so I'll just end up on one thing, that in the whole process of this cluster, apart from the premiums and the revenues that we get, MADA itself is going to get more than 10 lakh square meter of built up houses, which if I convert to a 500 square feet apartment, it comes to more than 20,000 apartments, which will be opened up on the ready reckoner rates for the common public in Mumbai. And lastly, BDD Chawl, where we are rehabilitating 17,000 plus people in the 3 sites. In fact, Monday, Honorable CM and other dignitaries are handing over the keys at Naigaon, almost 800 plus, and Worli we have already handed over the keys, the first phase. So overall, I see a very good growth, and I would just take this forum and as an opportunity to say to everyone, in spite of the war at Iran, in spite of the uncertainty about the dollar, in spite of the surging price of crude oil, and the various, whatever is going on at the international level, Mumbai is giving you a lot of opportunities. Mumbai and MMR is the right place to invest, to step in, and to come in for a positive approach. While doing that, please keep in mind also the poor people, the so-called people in the segment of EWS and LIG. Thank you.
Thank you.